What is up, peeps? We got a new knife that I would like to show off here today. It's called the Ripper Razor. It's a manual out the front. So you just push in the button. Look at those clean lines. There are no screws, if you notice. The only screw you're going to find on this thing is right there on the pocket clip. It's got kind of a unique construction about it where the two halves, which are full TC4 titanium, go together in such a clean way that it just doesn't need any screws. So this thing is, overall, the weight is super lightweight. That's one of the main features of it that I think is worth mentioning. Overall, 2.9 ounces. And when it's shut, it's sitting at 3 5/8 inches. When it's fully opened, it's 5 5/8 inches. And this is like a really cool everyday carry type of knife that you can throw in your pocket, and it's not going to weigh you down too much with the weight that it comes in at. But it's also, it's what's interesting about it is it utilizes 84% of the razor blade. So whatever is your favorite brand of blade will fit in this thing. To change the blade, it's not going to be a quick change. It's going to be safe, but it's also going to be a little bit more tedious because there's two screws. Now with that, and with that being said, with the two screws here and here to remove these T6 screws have to be removed in order to change the blade out. With that little caveat comes this. There's no play. Okay, so there's no side to side. There's zero up and down. I've tested a variety of blades. It's pretty solid, and no matter what blade that you're using, and that's what's cool about it. You're not going to really need to flip this around because you're utilizing most of the blade as is already, and it's just a really nicely milled chunk of titanium. To take this thing apart, you actually unscrew this little dangly loop here, and then you're gonna pull out the next step would be to slide this. You take your screw out, and then there's a little insert in there that you pop out. But for the most part, that's only for a deep cleaning. You're never really going to need to do that very often. To change the blade, this is the tutorial on how to do so. You're going to remove this T6 here. Then you're going to slide this to the middle position. You're going to remove this T6. It comes with this bit that I'm using. It's a little more helpful, but I guess this bit actually is magnetic. It's helpful if you're using a magnetic screw driver. And then there's your blade change, and you can flip it around or do whatever you got to do. Reverse procedure. Pop your screws in. I mean, yeah, it's not super difficult, but one tip of advice, a little bit of advice, is don't kill these screws. Just snug them gently. You don't need to like over torque them. If you over torque them, you may strip them. So that's the one caveat with T6s. You don't want to over torque a T6 ever. Don't ever thread lock these because obviously this is a screw that you're going to be using to change the blade out. And then there you go. You're back in business. You got 3 locking positions on this knife. So right here at this locking position gives you about a 1 inch, about an inch here. Let me see if I can get my camera angle up so you can see the actual ruler here on the cutting mat. It's about an inch of space. And then on the full extended length here, you're getting a little over 2 inches, right about 2 of usable cutting surface. So yeah, you could use these with any trapezoid shaped utility blade that you've got. I mean, if you like your hook blades, you like your serrated blades, that's the benefit of a utility knife. And then obviously because you never have to sharpen anything. So it's not a deep carry clip, but it's almost. It's right about, it gives you like about a 1/4 inch sticking out your pocket. The glass breaker here, you can remove this little loop if you don't really need this. If you don't plan on adding a lanyard or you're not planning on hooking it to a keychain or anything like that, this pops right out if you want to, pry it apart. But other than that, it's just another alternative to our other exclusive, which is the Schwing. So here's our original D2 steel manual out the front, the Schwing, next to the all new Ripper razor. So you can see the Ripper razor is a little bit bigger overall. Very similar design, very similar construction. No, excessive screws or anything like that. Just a really cool model that we added to the lineup under our exclusive section. So go to arenaccessories.com if you're interested in checking this out. And if you're a titanium knife fanatic, just check out our entire category of titanium knives. Maybe you'll find something else that tickles your fancy. Thank you guys again for watching. Appreciate your following and your support. And we hope everything else is going well in your life. Have a great day.